It is Cody Stamann who fought this past weekend. And normally, Cody, we like to get together after a win and talk about how great the performance was and how good you're feeling. This one, though, I imagine a little frustrating. It's been a couple days, but I'm guessing maybe you haven't moved past this one just yet. What's the feeling for you right now?
No, I don't think I'm ever moving past this. Yeah, I mean, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated myself. I'm frustrated with North Carolina and the way it all shook down. But life goes on. It's not like I can just put the brakes on my entire life and sit in misery. Like I still got shit to do. I'm up here remodeling my cabin, taking out all my frustrations on everything I'm doing up here.
I imagine so. Well, listen, it was a bit of a controversial decision loss to Douglas Silva de Andrade. I guess the first things first, I just want to ask you about the controversial moment with the upkick, right? I mean, things are happening pretty fast at that point, but I'm just curious if you kind of remember what you were thinking and were you frustrated? Because I know as an observer from the outside, I thought you can't do this. You can't stand these guys back up. I mean, but things are happening pretty quickly for you at that point. So were you thinking that as well? Like, why am I losing positioning or what was going on?
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. I 100%. I was in that moment. I remember it vividly. I remember it happening. And then I looked up at the ref and it was kind of like this delayed reaction. He was like, oh shit, you can't do that. And, he stops it. And, Douglas Silva obviously pops up. I'm kind of slow to get up and I'm looking at him like, what's he doing? Is he going to take the point? And I'm like, you taking the point? What's going on? Like, because I'm thinking like he's just going to give him a warning because it wasn't like a super damaging deal. And like we're just going to end up right back in this exact spot. So I'm just kind of sitting there waiting to see what he's going to say. And then, he just looks at me and says, fight. And I'm like, what? And like you can see, like if you rewatch it, you can like literally look at him and I'm like what? And before I can like have any kind of protest, like I got Douglas Silva like coming at me and like I have to get right back into a fight at that point, and I'm still kind of just like, what in the fuck is going on? And I mean, I remember it really it threw me off bad. Like mentally, I didn't understand what's going on, and like because I know the rules, it's pretty cut and dry. If you do something illegal, you legally upkick somebody, like it's either a point or you go right back to that position. There's not anything in between because you can't reward someone for doing something illegal on the ground, right? But rewarding him by letting him get back to his feet. And, the ref's comment after the fight was, I couldn't recreate the position. And I'm like, recreate it? Like, dude, I was in side control. What do you mean you can't recreate that position? You know what I mean? I can, and I think 99% of anyone that watches MMA can probably recreate that position. Like, why can't you? Why are you roughing my fight? You know what I mean? If you can't do that, you don't know the rules. It's all frustrating, and it happens every time the UFC goes to, one of these little states with small athletic commissions.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I hate to like pile on referees because I know what a tough job it is. I mean, there's so much going on, but the bottom line is mistakes get made. And this to me seemed like a very clear mistake. And, especially, man, the effort that you put into that takedown was, that was not like a simple.
Like, you see me, I'm like blowing up, lifting up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. Yeah, my dogs are chasing someone's dog down the road. Sydney, get the dog, please. Yeah.
Too funny. Yeah. Well, so listen, it was a mistake, and I think you alluded to it too. The mental side of it has got to be the tough part of it, right? Because you've got to reset the position, but I don't think people understand that. If your mind starts drifting a little bit, it had to be tough to kind of maybe refocus on exactly the task at hand.
Yeah, and I felt like I dropped that round because I was literally just out of that flow state. I was out of the fight, for a good 45 seconds after that happened. It wasn't until, being in the second round that I felt like I was kind of back in there, so it's a tough mental situation. But moving forward, I made a mistake in the third round. I hurt him, I had an opportunity to finish, and, in my head, it was so obvious that I was winning that fight that I felt like the smart thing for me to do at that point was to secure top position. You know what I mean? Because I was that confident in the fact that, you know, I had banked a round or two. You know, I honestly really thought that the judges' scorecards were going to be 30-27, 29-28 at worst. You know, I don't remember a moment after the fight thinking that I maybe lost. You know, like I've had closer fights 10 other times in my career. Like I was supremely confident that like I was getting the nod on this one, and like I was already in my head like thinking about what I was going to say afterwards. You know, so yeah, it was a complete shock, really.
Yeah. So I know you discussed maybe filing an appeal. Has that been done yet? And I guess I'm curious, what's your biggest because there's kind of 2 points, right? Is the appeal based on, hey, I think this referee decision was, you know, a critical error that may have cost me, or is it based on, hey, I think the scoring was incorrect and needs to be reviewed? Like what do you think is the most salient point, I guess, to contest?
So I mean, I think it was cut and dry, you know. And after having you know, having a conversation with the athletic commission, um, they pointed out the rules, you know, especially, you know, if something happens illegally on the ground. They made it really obvious to me that there were only 2 options. You know, either they take a point or the position is recreated. You know what I mean? There wasn't another option. So that's what I'm appealing. I'm appealing like the ref made a mistake. He messed up. He should have taken a point, or he should have put us back on the ground. And, you know, and that, in my eyes, swings that fight a different way. I mean, because how long had I been on top? You know, 2-3 seconds when that happened. You know, like it wasn't a lot of time. So like, so to the, you know, to the judges and stuff, like they're not even factoring in that takedown. You know, nothing's being none of that's being factored in. So that really messes everything up for me. You know what I mean, mentally and, you know, physically in the fight. So that's what I'm appealing. I'm appealing. You know, the ref made a mistake because he really did, and it was a cut and dry. You know, I was pretty down and out, you know, initially, just like, I can't believe I just got screwed so hard. I can't believe this is happening. And then, you know, after I spoke with the commissioner for North Carolina, and after I saw the rules, I was like, I actually have a shot at this appeal. You know what I mean? Normally, like, it's 1 in a million, you know what I mean? But like, I think I have the 1 in a million card in this instance, because there's not a lot of gray area in this. You know, it's just blatantly the guy made a mistake.
I'll be interested to follow it because, as you said, the you know, the success rate of these appeals isn't great. But as you said, I think you've got a very valid point here that needs to be discussed. Have you guys actually filed paperwork yet, or done what you need to do, or does that still need to happen?
So yeah, I mean, we'll be doing it today. I have to, you know, look everything over and sign it, because the athletic commission was pretty slow getting back to us. I mean, first thing Monday morning, I was like, let's get after it. You know what I mean? I was pretty motivated to get this done, get this process started. Yeah, so they kind of gave us the run through exactly, you know, what needs to be said, and yeah, I'm just hoping they make it right. You know what I mean? Because they screwed me. You know, I'm never going to get that money. I'm never going to get the glory of a win. But at least I can get some satisfaction knowing that, you know, a person that made a mistake is going to be held accountable for it. And yeah, I can just move on, because I mean, I didn't lose that fight. There's no fucking way I lost that fight, and especially not, you know, considering, you know, the circumstances of what happened with that ref.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I do feel like there may be some opportunity here to set a precedent, maybe, you know, moving forward. So I applaud you for at least going through with it and see what happens. I guess regardless what happens there, we do know there is a change in your career coming, right? Moving to featherweight. I guess talk to you about, was that a decision that was made this week, or it was been thinking about for a while?
That's a decision. That's the decision that I was, you know, it wasn't, I didn't know that it was going to be permanent. You know, I was looking at maybe fighting a couple times at featherweight and just kind of seeing how it went. But now, sitting in the position that I'm sitting in now, I feel like I got to take whatever I can get. You know what I mean? Like, if it's at 35, if it's at 45, it's the right matchup, I'm doing it. You know, I just want to get back in the cage. I feel like the only way for me to really get this nasty taste out of my mouth in this circumstance is to just get back in there and get after somebody. You know what I mean? Get ready for the next fight. So if it's at 35, I'm cool with it. If it's at 45, I'm cool with it. You know, I can make 35 I can fight at 45. Like I want this behind me. You know what I mean? And the only way to really, really actually put it behind me is to get in there and take somebody out. Like there's no other way. I can't sit around and dwell on this. I have to get back at it. You know what I mean? I'm healthy. Obviously I didn't take any damage in that fight. You know, no aches, no pains, nothing. So, I'll take this week off and I'll get right back into another fight camp. And, you know, hopefully I can get something soon. You know, if it's short notice, I'll do it at 45. And if I have a little bit of time, I'll do it at 35. But like, my focus now is going forward. You know, the appeal process will be something that is kind of in the background, but like, I'm just going to get back in there and, you know, focus on taking all these frustrations out on remodeling my cabin and, you know, the next guy I fight.
Oh, look. Well, Cody, man, I appreciate you sharing that. I know it's a frustrating time, so we'll let you get back to some demolition and some construction up there and handle that. And we'll hope you get something booked again quickly. And like I said, we'll see how this thing plays out with the appeal as well. So hopefully we see you back in the octagon soon, one way or the other.
Yeah. Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.